Hello, everyone. Welcome to WTF Walk the Floors, all things hospitality training. I'm Michelle Kline with Kline Hospitality, and I'm here with Stephanie Ledger, the beautiful Ledger from First Rate Hospitality. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing today, Michelle?
I am doing fantastic. I'm excited
Great.
about today's topic.
Yeah, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about emotional intelligence and leading the hospitality industry with emotional intelligence. And this is a topic that is worth it for anyone in any industry, anyone who has any interactions with people, with things, with situations, can benefit from understanding what EI, or also known as EQ, is all about.
Awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of other industries tap into the hospitality industry to learning kind of the tricks and trades when it comes to that emotional intelligence and how they can now bring that to their industry. All right, so game started. What is emotional intelligence?
So that is a brilliant question, right? It's all about mindset, control over feelings, control over your emotions, right? Becoming self aware, understanding how to regulate those emotions. Is this a situation worth me getting this excited, whether it is in a positive or a negative way? And then understanding also how my reactions to specific situations or comments or whatever it is that I'm dealing with, how can that affect others around me? That's what
Perfect.
EI is.
All right. And why is it important that we have it in hospitality?
It is critical to develop. That's another thing. It is a skill that we can develop. Unlike IQ that we're born with, right? You have it or you don't. So you have a little bit or you have a lot of it. Emotional intelligence is something that we can actually develop, which is great news for everyone. And especially in hospitality, it is so critical that our leaders and our team members are equipped with high levels of emotional intelligence, because we deal with people all day long and we deal with fires all day long and we have all these competing priorities all day long. So if we're better able to diffuse situations with grace, if we're better able to understand how to deal, manage, handle people from diverse backgrounds with grace, then the day becomes a lot more enjoyable, and the risk associated with burnout naturally will decrease. What do you think, Stephanie?
Mhm. No, absolutely. And I think also too with the hospitality is, we have so much care and comfort for our guests, and we're not just robots and being very transactional in the way that we interact with the guests. We provide a lot of emotion to our guests as well, and then even depending of what type of emotion we may get back from our guests.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
so moving on is, how can we apply it, teach it, and use it in our day-to-day interactions?
So, like I said before, it is something that we must use in every single interaction, where it is with a living thing in front of us, to specific situations, right? If you have a vendor and you're in this critical moment of a remodel, for example, that will not be delivering on time, how do we manage that? How do we deal with that? Right? That's extremely important. So being able to become aware of, like I was saying, what level of reaction does this require, and then being a step ahead of the game and understanding what kind of outcome do I want.
Yes.
If I am going to lash out at a guest as I'm checking them in because I am overworked, because I can see the line, because I know that um, OTAs were not closed on time. And now we have all these overbooked rooms that we're going to have to walk, and there is no sister property where we want to walk them to, right? So, all these things that are affecting my brain as I'm having this interaction with a guest right in front of me. And let's say the guest just arrived from a very long trip, they're tired, and their room is not ready. And they're a VIP guest or they're a high tier guest, right? So,
Mhm.
how do I deal with this? Do I want them to know what I'm going through? No. Having that fresh moment of um, brightness in your brain that will better dictate what my reaction to this tired guest needs to look like comes from
Mhm.
us comprehending what the outcome is what kind of outcome I want to see, right? So if I want this guest that is a VIP guest to be happy, fulfilled, want them to return, complete a lovely survey and so on, and I want to make their experience memorable, and I know that they're tired, I'm going to put everything else that is happening to me on the back burner.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've been in situations like that many times.
Oh. Yes, absolutely. Especially, I would say, out of any department, I feel, front desk really takes a lot of having to read the guests. They're already going on a lot of stressful things that may be happening in the back of the house, or knowing what's happening with other departments. And then the guest always comes to the front desk for almost everything and anything. And you never know what can come out of the guest mouth.
Absolutely.
So, do you have
Totally.
a WTF moment when it comes to the emotional intelligence?
I have many, but let me share one specific one with you. I used to have area director who every so often, I want to say maybe like every 45 days to 2 months, they would go nuts. They would go nuts, right? Uh, and it was out of nowhere, like completely freak out. I'm going to lose my job and this is happening. And like, there was always one very simple situation that would tick them off and go to the cliff, walk to the cliff. So every 45 days to 2 months, I knew it was that time where this person would roll into my office and unload, unleash the madness of what was going on in their life and how
Mhm.
I had to hold their back to make sure that they wouldn't jump, right? And it was a process for me when I first started understanding what emotional intelligence was all about, to be able to start helping this person. And and the added bonus from a WTF walk the floors type of experience is the fact that if the other person doesn't want to learn this skill set, if the other person is not ready to elevate their EI game or their EQ game, it's not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
what do you do again with your own emotions of realizing that you have a person that is managing a big portfolio, yet they don't have the emotional readiness to be able to power through for more than 2 months without wanting to jump off a cliff? So
Yeah.
that's the moment. Have you? Can you think of any WTF moments?
I would say for me, I surprised myself a lot with the emotional intelligence. And I would say really was when looking back, like when I was younger, here I was barely 21 and I was already the evening MOD. And so, little me and my squeaky voice coming and seeing these guests that were complaining because we're very limited on our leadership at nighttime, and just the surprising of how I would be able to calm these guests down. They would be so irate, and then now being able to say, okay, this is how we're going to be able to take care of you, and checking in on them, and really guiding through if it was a guest complaint, or even just engaging and giving them that warm welcome. And those were the moments that I really surprised myself at being so young and new into a leadership role, and then being like, oh, I got this.
I love that. That's inspiring. I love it. Love it.
Yes. All right. So any final nuggets on our topic?
Final nugget moment. Drum roll, please. All right.
Woo.
I would say when you want to start working on your game of elevating your game of emotional intelligence, ask yourself this question: does the situation merit my reaction to this emotion? I'm going to say that one more time. Does the situation merit my reaction to this emotion? And be conscious of the fact that the emotions are there for a reason. The emotions are there to tell you something. So emotions act like a little compass. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? Right? What is it that I need to learn from this? And so on. But many times, the level of reaction needs to be in alignment with the trigger.
Yeah.
So that's the nugget. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Michelle, for sharing your insights, and we'll see everyone next time.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.